Now we're going to go to dividing integers. It's very similar to multiplying, and it's again, you're going to have to memorize the rules because they will not go away anytime soon. So here we have, and just recall now that division is splitting a number into two groups to determine the number in each group. And then you can see the examples below. So here we have 6. So we have 6 positives, and it says it's divided into two groups. So here's group 1 and here's group 2. So you can see that there are positive 3 in each group. So you can see that's going to be a positive, okay? So now we look at the next one. You have negative 6. So you have negative 6 integers divided into two groups again. And you can see here's one group, and there are negative 3 in each group. The next one says 6 again. So you have 6 whole numbers, 6 positives, divided by negative 2 groups of negative 2. And this one's going to be a negative 3. Because these will go in and you'll have negative 3 and negative 3s. Okay, and then the last one is negative 6. So you have negative 6 numbers divided by negative 2. So here's a negative 2 group. Here's a negative 2 group. And that one's going to be a positive 3. Because all of these would be switched to positive and it would become a positive. So you're kind of doing the same thing as before, just a little bit different. So now we're going to go through the rules, okay? And the rules are very similar to the other one. So it says the quotient. So if you want to write that, quotient means division. So if you are finding the quotient of something, you need to divide. So quotient just means division, okay? So that's one thing you need to know is quotient just means division. So the quotient of two positive integers is going to be positive. So just like when you multiply two positives, it's positive. The quotient of two negative numbers is positive. And then the quotient of two integers with different signs is going to be negative. So what they're saying, and I'm going to put it to the side so you can kind of see what they're saying. So they're saying that if you have so here you have a positive divided by a positive, it's going to be positive. If you have a negative divided by a negative, it's going to be positive. And if you have a negative divided by a positive, it is negative. Or if you have a positive divided by a negative, it's going to be negative. Now, let's read the instruction for the next one. Without dividing. Do not divide. You guys get into trouble where you just divide without reading the instructions. So without dividing, determine if its quotient is positive or negative. So I look at negative 18 divided by 3. So a negative divided by a positive, that would be this one down here, and it's going to be negative. So all you're doing is you're writing negative or positive for those 6. Then it says find the quotient of each of these. So this one says find the quotient. And if you remember what I said up here is quotient means divide. So actually divide it out. So negative 8 divided by 2, you first decide is it negative or positive? It's going to be negative. 8 divided by 2 is 4. So your times tables are going to come into play here. If you need a sheet that has your times tables, I will put it in the classroom and you can print it out to help you with that, okay? And so that's it. And then you're going to do these and then we'll go through it. And if we have time, we're going to practice some division on our we're going to practice the adding, subtracting integers and then multiplying and dividing, and then we'll have an exit ticket to end the class. So go ahead and get started with writing if it's positive or negative and dividing it out. And we'll go through it in a minute.